So I was scrolling through eBay looking for a 2015 MacBook Pro, and I came across a brand new listing that just popped up, and it looked to be a Apple refurbished MacBook Pro 2015, and it looked pretty cheap. So I sent them an offer for 130 bucks, and they ended up accepting it. So I paid around 160 bucks for this device, and I bought it because it looked really good. It came from Cupertino, California, funny enough, but it looked good, looked in great shape. So I purchased it, and I finally got it in. So here's the package, and the funny thing is that this is straight out of Cupertino, California. And if you know Apple, that's pretty much where they were headquartered for a long time. So, let's open this up and see if everything came like it should. Oh, here it is. MacBook Pro. So this is a certified refurbished MacBook Pro. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. Oh boy. This is a 2015 MacBook Pro. And to find these certified refurbished nowadays is very, very rare. Look at this thing. It's like brand new. Not even like a scratch on it. This thing is beautiful. Let's look in the box here. We have a pretty newish looking extender for the power. And of course we have an older used adapter, which is okay. Hopefully we have Apple stickers. If I can open this thing. Yes, we have Apple stickers and we have a brand new cleaning cloth. That's pretty sweet, as well as our user agreement and user manual. Let's move the box away and take a look at the actual computer itself. So here it is, and from the information I got, this thing has about 80 charge cycles, and it was purchased in 2019. So this thing's pretty clean. Let's go ahead and open this up. Here we go. So here it is. Here's the Mac. Not even a scratch on this thing. I want to feel the keyboard because the keyboards, when they're brand new, have a nice coat on there. You can feel the new paint. Oh boy, here we are. Let's remove this. Oh yeah, keys feel 100% brand new. Now, this thing's a little bit dusty, but as you can see, the keys are in immaculate shape, and they have a brand new texture to them. The display looks absolutely amazing. And the ports are super clean. So after charging up the MacBook and putting in my USB drive, we could put the latest version of macOS Monterey onto this MacBook. Now, macOS Monterey is the latest that this MacBook can support without using the OpenCore Legacy software, which is a patcher that puts the newest version of macOS on unsupported Macs. Now, macOS Monterey isn't a horrible software, and it's still supported by Apple to this day. However, the MacBook itself is no longer supported by the newer software updates. And now with the MacBook completely set up, we can go and check the About This Mac, so we can see what exactly is going on here. So we have the 2.7 gigahertz Core i5 with 121 gigabytes of SSD storage, and it has 8 gigabytes of RAM. So for the battery going to power, we can see that this Mac has 86 charge cycles, which for a 2015 computer is amazing. And by testing this Mac out, we can make sure that everything works properly, and this Mac is really, really smooth, especially for not being used a lot. And by using the Geekbench software, we can compare a very used MacBook Pro to a lightly used refurbished Apple MacBook Pro. So as you can see, on the left is our refurbished MacBook Pro with a 1035 single core and a 2115 multi-core. Now on the right, we have our very used MacBook Pro with a 1033 single core and a 2111 multi-core, which they don't really outperform each other by much. It's a very, very, very slight difference, so it really doesn't change much. But here's where things get weird. As you can see, for the OpenCL score for our GPU, the barely used Mac gets a 3376 OpenCL score, while the very used one gets a 3474 OpenCL score. That means the barely used refurbished MacBook Pro has a worse GPU than the used MacBook Pro, which is very, very weird in my opinion. Now, there are some factors that can contribute to that, but let's go ahead and take a look inside and see what's going on. I assume that this Mac is going to be pretty clean since it's barely used, but you never know. And unsurprisingly, this Mac is super clean. I mean, look at the bottom case. That thing's amazing. There's no dust in the fans. The only dust on here is just tiny little lint particles, which is literally almost non-existent. I mean, they're super, super small. But of course, we're going to go ahead and clean it up, and then we're going to get inside of the CPU and GPU and repaste the processor, because even though this thing's barely used, the thermal paste is probably all dried up by now. And as you can see, it's pretty dried up, so we're going to go ahead and replace that so we don't run into any issues with the CPU and GPU in the future. So this Mac is looking absolutely flawless. I mean, this thing is beautiful. It still has the macOS Monterey App Store, which still supports many of the apps that are out in the Mac App Store, and the keyboard looks spectacular. Now, I'm really, really wondering what the battery is all about, so I went ahead and downloaded Coconut Battery 3 so we could check it out and see if the battery in here is actually original. And as you can see, the battery in here is indeed original, and the computer was actually manufactured in 2016, and the battery still holds 91.9%. Even to this day, this 2015 computer is still really, really usable, and it is still actually a really quick computer and really isn't all that slow, especially with the 8 GB of RAM and the dual-core i5. Thank you guys for watching, and I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing this really cool MacBook Pro. I appreciate all the support I have been getting. Thank you guys so much.